Okay, let's preview round 12 of the NRL season. Now, we are entering the origin period, so there's 7 teams who have the bye next weekend. We will find out the origin squads as well in the week. But we have 5 matches to preview. The first match of the weekend is between the Bulldogs and the Dolphins. The Bulldogs are currently top of the NRL ladder. The Dolphins are frustratingly inconsistent at the moment. Now, the Bulldogs coming off that hard-fought win over the Roosters, 24 points to 20. The Dolphins coming off that 16 points to 12 loss against the Warriors. The Bulldogs have a good chance to extend their lead at the top of the NRL ladder with a potential win. They are still missing some players from their lineup. Jacob Preston has been a big loss due to suspension. He should be back in the lineup soon, as should Tupanua as well. So they are missing a couple of key forwards through suspension. And considering that they are a little bit short on troops, they're winning games ugly. They're winning games when they're not playing well. And in the second half of games, they are fantastic. They need to try and put in an 80-minute performance. They haven't done that over the last couple of weeks, putting in an 80-minute performance. The last 3 weeks, they've been very strong in the second halves of games, not so strong in the first half of games. So that's a little bit of a weakness, is that 80-minute performance. The Dolphins just get some consistency. We know that Dolphins attack has got points in them. They scored 40 against the Storm. We know they can score points. It's just getting out on a consistent basis. But the Bulldogs are favourite for that one. The Eels versus the Sea Eagles. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Both sides coming off wins in the last round. The Eels at home, they're going to scrap and fight. The Sea Eagles have some injury concerns going into this matchup. And while they're coming off the back of a win, as are the Eels, their form hasn't been great in the last month, 6 weeks. It has been a little bit concerning, and this is the potential for a banana skin. The Eels are playing better. They're showing some more fight, more commitment, more energy. They're buying into what Jason Riles wants them to do in a rebuilding season. They could be dangerous. This could be a very, very fun matchup between the two. The Sea Eagles, while they got a good win against the Cowboys, they left it late to get half their points. There's still some issues with fitness of like Jake Trbojevic is going to be missing. Tom Trbojevic is not 100% fit. Cherry Evans hasn't had the best run of form since announcing he's leaving the Sea Eagles. And there is some pressure on the Sea Eagles. There's less pressure on the Eels. The Eels have know that they are in a rebuilding season. They are getting some players back from injury, which is key. They played well against the Knights. Defensively, though, this is going to be a big test for the Eels because we know the Sea Eagles can score points. This could be a very fun game. Because both sides have proven they can score points, and both sides have got very leaky defences. The Panthers-Knights is game 3. Obviously, the Panthers coming off the bye, they've had a disappointing first half of the season, let's be honest. So far, first 11 rounds, they've been very, very disappointing. The Knights, however, are in free fall. And the Panthers coming off the bye, having an extra week to work on things and tweak things a little bit, get some players back up to fitness. Going to be an interesting one. The Knights need a response. Adam O'Brien is a coach under a lot of pressure. The Panthers, okay, they're playing better in recent weeks. The last game they played was against the Cowboys. They did concede 30 points, but they did score 30 points. So the Panthers can score points, but they're not the side they were over the previous 4 or 5 seasons. They have been a bit frail at times defensively. But at the same time, there's been a lot of player turnover. But the young players are putting their hand up and are not shying away from putting an effort in. The Knights are in deep trouble. I think this is a perfect game for the Panthers to build some confidence and some momentum following that Golden Point thriller against the Cowboys a couple of weeks ago. The Knights, as I say, are in deep, deep trouble. Very concerned about their form. And Adam O'Brien is a coach that I don't think will be coach come the end of the season unless they go on a run of form and they just blitz the second half of the season. The Knights are teetering on potentially ending up with a wooden spoon with the way they're playing. The Roosters Sharks is going to be a fun matchup as well. Really looking forward to this game. I think this game could be high scoring. The Sharks coming back off that emotionally draining win against the Storm, and the Roosters coming close against the Bulldogs, and the Sharks are building some momentum. I think that was a litmus test against the Storm. They came through that, but that was a physical test. They've got a couple of injury concerns going into this game. The Roosters, they're fun to watch. You just don't know what's going to happen with the Roosters. Defensively, they have their frailties, but hey, they're starting to score some points now. They're building some momentum. They're scrapping, they're fighting. And this is a rebuilding season for the Roosters. But the Sharks, if they want to cement their premiership credentials, they need to back up that win over the Storm with a win against the Roosters away from home. The Roosters, though, as I say in the last video, Mark Nawanga Nitawase, I will get his name right. He's been an absolute brilliant bit of scouting and a good pickup by the Roosters last year. He's showing that, hey, he does belong in the NRL, considering it's been a long time since he played junior rugby league before switching to rugby union as a teenager. Marky Mark, he is a diamond in the rough. It's a good pickup by them. He's been their best player, in my opinion. He has been their best player, in my opinion. Spencer Leniu, that's going to be fun watching him take on the Sharks back. The Sharks, as I say, do have some injury concerns over the last couple of weeks. It's going to be a fun matchup. Let's see if the Roosters can bounce back from that close defeat to the Bulldogs. And then the Warriors-Raiders. This is a repeat of round 1 in Vegas, where the Raiders comfortably beat the Warriors. The Warriors have built some momentum in recent weeks, as have the Raiders. These two sides were not expected to be this good. It's going to be a fun matchup. This is going to be a fun matchup with the Warriors at home. They've been road warriors lately. They've been playing a lot of games away from Mount Smart. The Raiders need to put in an 8-minute performance. And as a Raiders fan, it has been frustrating watching them over the last few weeks. They've not put in that 80-minute performance. But this is going to be a fun game. The Warriors are not the Warriors side of round 1. They've shown massive improvement, in my personal opinion, since the opening round in Vegas. Metcalf has really stepped up his game. Harris Tavita has stepped up his game, and they're working really well as a halves partnership. And both of them can run the ball really well. They've got a good kicking game, and they're both willing to stand up in defence and make the big hits, especially Harris Tavita. He can throw some big hits. He's got no fear of the contact, which is fun to see. And this is a Warriors side that in years past would have lost some of these close games, like the game, for example, against the Dolphins. They would have lost that in years past. So they're showing some maturity now. Coach Webster is definitely building a very, very good side there. So that's the 5 games we've got this coming weekend. Going into the Origin period, that means the Storm, Bunnies, Tigers, Dragons, Broncos, Cowboys and Titans all have a bye, which means only one Queensland side is playing, which is the Dolphins, which I find very interesting how they've structured the byes for the State of Origin period. That 3 of the 4 Queensland sides have a bye this coming round. Bunnies coming off the back of a win, that's interesting. The Tigers, who they beat, coming off the back of a loss going into that. The Dragons coming off the back of a win over the Storm, who also have the bye. Cowboys, Broncos and Titans all lost as well. That means no Queensland sides won in round 11, which is interesting. So it's going to be interesting if the Dolphins can restore some of Queensland's honour. It's going to be interesting to see who does get selected for both Origin squads. That's going to be a fun little thing to look at. But for me, for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on the upcoming round 12 in the comments section below. And who would have thought that the Bulldogs going into round 12 would be leading the NRL at this stage of the season, and with the Raiders and Warriors as well, and the Sharks, that's your top 4. That is ridiculous. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? The Storm, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, that kind of inconsistency with the Storm. The Knights, who thought they would tumble so badly? The Broncos, they're imploding, and there's question marks over morale within the group. There's some really interesting stories coming out of the first 11 weeks going into round 12. And there's the potential for some more player movement before June 30th. So in the next 6 weeks, we could see some players switching clubs. Dom Young watch. It looks like the Roosters may be wanting to shop him out. They've said he's allowed to have discussions with rival clubs. But at the same time, if they have some injuries and some call-ups for State of Origin, he may get called back in. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens over the next couple of weeks through this Origin period. But for me for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you all very, very soon.